Hi, this is Rachelle and I have a small haul from Temu. This is craft supplies, so let's just dig in and see what I've got. So this is the first order. This is two separate orders, but they were somewhat close together. This first order, I wanted to try these out, and the prices at Temu can't be beat. I've watched a few videos, and I will link to one in the description box below, that had some concerns about Temu. So before you order from them, I think it's probably a good idea to do the research. Also, I do not have the Temu app. I don't really want to put that app on my phone, so I actually order from the browser. I don't order from an app. Okay, so back to what I got. I got these brushes, and they are individually wrapped. I don't know that they're the best quality. They're a little, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, because I don't use makeup brushes. So I don't know how well these will hold up. The brushes that I got from Dollar Tree seem to be a better quality. So like, here's one. And it's not flexible. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. This feels like it will break easily, but we shall see. The heads look very similar. And this is an actual makeup brush. I think these are specifically for crafting. But yeah, so I'm going to try these out, and I like these because I don't have to label them or anything. I pretty much know that I'm using the blue ink with this one, red ink for that one, etc., etc. So hopefully that will work out and they will last. We shall see. For ink application, I also got the finger daubers. I used these back when I first started inking things, and I originally stopped getting them because they wore out really fast and they were expensive. So I'm going to see how these do. They seem okay, and since they are really not expensive compared to what they are if you buy them from the craft supply store, it might be a good deal. And I think I got another pack of those. Yeah, so I got multiple packs. Just wanted to make sure I had enough. Okay, then these are charms. And I think I got lots of discounts with all of this. If I can show my receipt for what I purchased, I will. But this is just a mixture of different charms. So we got a guitar, a Christmas stocking, a snowflake. This looks like a deer, an airplane, a heart, a clover. That's cute. An elephant, looks like a feather or a leaf. And I'm not sure, that's some type of medallion. So just a variety of different charms, and it is in that bronzed look so that it looks vintage and it's not like a brand new look. Then I also got this set of corners. Now I do not like the color here, but I figured I could use alcohol ink to change the color if I want. So these are just metal corners that you can use on a book cover or journal cards. They're really thin and pliable. So yeah, I got that. Again, I don't care for the color, but I can change the color. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, thought I had more of these. Some more finger daubers. So this is a door die. If you've been watching, I've been buying quite a few home building items like doors and windows, etc. So we got the door, and let's see, I got these. I thought these were cute. These are bird cages, so it's 3 different dies. 2 birds in this one, 1 bird in that one, no bird in this one. And I think that bag is empty. I got this stencil with the fleur-de-lis. So it's just a mixed media style stencil. And then this pouch, oh, I did open it. This is a set of clear stamps, but they're bugs. So you got the bugs, you got some script here. And I just thought that was going to be cool for like a gothic Halloween type situation. Then in the second pack, got something different I just wanted to try out. So in the second pack, I got some of these napkins. Now I don't think I would ever use all of these, so I'll probably be putting these as part of my journal bundles maybe. I don't know, but this is the first set that I got. Ooh, this one has florals and butterflies. This one has more of a vintage floral. I really like this, and I like the turquoisey green background. So we'll see how those go. More of these, and the reason that I got so many of these, I wanted this set originally because it has 10 in here, but it wasn't available when I placed the first order. So when I saw them available in the second order, I ordered these. I want to be able to use them with my chalk inks and have something separate for my distress inks. So that's why so many of those. Here we have a nesting die of like a torn edge look. Looking forward to trying that out. This is my first time ordering like sticker products or paper products from Temu. I've ordered from Shein, and I think I prefer Shein stuff actually. They just don't have as much to choose from, but I think this is really cool. So these are deco stickers. It comes in this book. And I don't know if they are glossy. I don't think the actual stickers are glossy, just the paper that they are on. Yeah, so they are matte. So we got labels, little label tags here, more labels. So it probably would help to see if there was something behind the page. I don't know. We'll just keep going like this. This is a nice way to have these, and I could see myself ordering more of these because it's nice and convenient, and then that's just not floating all over the place. Look at that, sample only. Very nice. And I can just kind of store this on my desk, and it's not going to take up a lot of space, and always be at hand. Nice. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. So the deco sticker book, I think that's probably my favorite thing so far. Then last, I got one of these corner punch tools. So I do have the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. I have the angle. I think I have the ticket, and I have just the regular punch, but I kind of seen a lot of these being used, and I just wanted to try. So this one is, it says fillet use effect. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it's a 3-way corner punch. This is what it looks like. This is what it punches. And they give the size of the corner in millimeters, which is not that helpful for me. So this is, let's see, I got a scrap piece of paper here. Let's punch. So that's very small corner. Let's do this one. So a little bit bigger. Then the big corner. That one had a little pull on it, even though the paper is not really that thick. Let's try again. Which one is the bigger one? This one. Okay. All right. So it does work. It works very well. I wasn't sure that it would work well. So let's punch another small one. Let's see. And again, everything that I got was at a really good price considering what you would pay in the craft supply store. It looks like the little bits do get stuck in there, but maybe that's from the manufacturing. Yeah, because it's got a little oily something on there. Let's see. I don't want to keep putting my hand in that. It's probably just the oil from manufacturing. And it will probably wear off with use. I wanted to try some of the things that I ordered from Temu. So I'm starting out with the napkins. I've already removed the extra layers and kind of trimmed down some of the pieces to make them small enough to use. I'm using my DIY Mod Podge, and I also have some book page envelopes that I had grunged up and had been working on that I'm going to use to experiment with. So here I'm doing a little decoupage with one of the napkins. This one was the one that had that vintage look and the teal turquoisey background that was very light. So I think that worked well here. The background didn't disappear as much as it probably would have if it were white, but I like the effect that the colored background has when you decoupage it on these envelopes. So some of the grunginess still showed through. And I'm just experimenting with the different napkins that I ordered. I'm using water to remove some of the excess off of this floral napkin, the pink floral. I think it's a pink rose. And I am going to add that one to one of my grungy envelopes. This napkin had, I think, the best background or one of the best backgrounds. So it pretty much disappeared once I added it to the book page envelope. And here I'm adding another piece to the flap of the envelope. So have some on the flap and some on the body, and I'm just propping it up so that it can dry. And I am moving on to another piece of napkin. So this is the third design. This is the one that had the butterfly. So I tore off just the piece with the butterfly to add to the flap of this envelope. Then I'm going to tear off some of the other elements. There are some decorative elements in the background, and I know I'm off frame a lot in this video. I was using a different camera. I am switching between cameras, and positioning is still not quite right with me yet, but I'm working on it. But anyway, I'm using my DIY Mod Podge to add those little background elements and designs from the napkin to the envelope. Here is another napkin. I'm using the water to soften the napkin and carefully tearing away the butterfly or moth. I'm not sure which one it is. And I'll also remove the dragonfly. And I'm adding those to the envelopes as well. Here I'm using another one of the colorful floral napkins, adding it to the flap of the envelope. And so this is where I am so far. I put away the Mod Podge and I'm just trimming around the envelopes, trimming off some of the excess napkin. They are mostly dry. They're not completely dry, but I was impatient, so I went ahead and started trimming them up. And I couldn't get enough of the decoupaging, so I am back with the DIY Mod Podge and still adding to the envelopes. If you would like me to do a video on how I made the envelopes, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so now I'm moving on to some of the other products that I ordered from Temu. I'm going to test out a few of the dies. I know someone had asked me how I break apart the dies when I receive them, when they're together like this. So I just use my jewelry making tools and kind of clip off the excess metal pieces. Usually you can just carefully bend them back and forth to get them apart, but you want to get those pieces that still stick out off of the die so that when you're using it, you're not snagging yourself, your skin, your clothes, whatever the case may be. So I do my best to manually by hand take the dies apart, and I try not to bend them while I'm doing this, and also I try not to cut myself because the dies are sharp. And then I use a jewelry tool to bend off those little pieces of metal that were holding the different pieces together. And I try to make sure I keep track of all those little metal pieces. I don't want them to go flying. I do wear glasses, so I'm not too worried about my eyes. And then I use washi tape or a piece of masking tape to pick up all those little metal pieces. And I kind of fold it all up in the masking tape or washi tape and dispose of it that way instead of just having little shards of metal floating around in the trash. Never know what might happen. So I'm going to go ahead and test the nesting die first, the torn edge nesting die. I have a piece of, actually it's paper bag, and I trimmed it down, and I'm using my Gemini, my first electric die cutting machine that I picked up maybe a month or so ago from Hobby Lobby on clearance. I'll link to that video in the iCard so you can go check that out. But the die works great. It cut through the paper bag paper just great. I really like this set of dies, and I'm sure I'll get plenty of use out of it. Next up, I'm going to test out one of the bird cages. I chose the one that was an empty cage. I had some black paper that was a little crumpled up, so I just cut a piece of that off and ran it through the machine. And let's see what we get. So this is a very delicate die, and it cut really well. This is what it looks like. And I imagine I will get a lot of use out of this as well. I think it's really pretty, and I like that it's delicate but cut very easily. Next up is the door. Now I'm not so sure about how to use this, how it's supposed to work. I'm using a piece of scrapbooking paper or cardstock. It's craft colored on one side and the design is on the other side, and I'm putting my sandwich together. Then I figured out maybe I better put a piece of washi tape just to make sure that that die stays in place because my paper is a little narrow. Almost exactly the same size as the die, so I don't want anything moving around. So then I put the sandwich together and run it through the Gemini. In here, I'm taking it out, checking all the pieces. The door looks okay, but I'm really not sure how all of this is supposed to fit together. I guess I could go back to Temu's website and see what the example looked like. I don't remember. I'm not sure about these little window areas, how all of that's supposed to work. And I think it all works in conjunction with the frame that came with the door that I didn't cut. But I can't cut that frame with the Gemini because it's a little bit too wide to go through the machine. But for the most part, it cut properly. I did run it through again because there are lots of little tiny pieces in those panels, and I just wanted to make sure that they actually cut. So that's why I ran it through again. And just kind of playing around with the Pokey tool, seeing what happens. I don't know if these are supposed to fit back in those spaces or how all that's supposed to work. So I'll figure it out eventually. I was just kind of testing to make sure that it cut, and it does cut. So that part's not an issue. I just need to figure out how to use it. So next up, I have the stencil, the fleur-de-lis stencil, and I want to test that out on one of the envelopes. So I'm going to use it and some Black Soot Distress ink by Temu, and I'm going to try one of those new brushes. They still feel quite flimsy to me, but I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm very lightly applying the ink for that first application. Then I'm going to apply a little more pressure as I continue. So this is what it's looking like. The stencil works great. I'm still on the fence about the brushes. I think I like the Dollar Tree brushes better, but the color of these brushes is a bonus. So we'll see how they hold up over time. Still trying to figure out that door. Really loving the bird cage. So finally here I am testing out the clear stamps. I'm using one of the moths or butterflies. I'm using the archival ink. This first stamp I wiggled around and pressed too hard. It kind of gave me a smudgy looking stamp. So I don't need to press that hard, and I just lightly stamped here and it came out perfectly. And I'm just going to do one more just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. And I didn't apply pressure evenly, so I had to go back and stamp the part that I missed. Luckily, it's a clear stamp, and sometimes I can get away with that. So these are little envelopes that I'd ordered from Amazon a while ago to store dies and clear stamps. And so I'm putting everything away in those envelopes. I'll link to the envelopes in the description box below if you're interested. They come in really handy. You could also put magnet sheets in them as well to hold your dies on the magnet instead of having them just floating around inside. But they're really great. I almost forgot about the sticker book, which is one of my favorite things. So I'm going to just test out one of the stickers. The only issue I have with the stickers is that the offset around them is glossy. The sticker itself is matte, but there's a tiny offset around it, which you could easily cut off, but I do not like the glossy. Other than that, they're great. And that's it for my experimenting and testing out some of the Temu products that I picked up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Bye.